Hey YouTube, it's me again. This is my second YouTube video, I guess. The first YouTube video, I got 4 views and 1 like, which is actually crazy to me because I didn't think anybody would watch my videos. So the fact that I got 1 like is pretty crazy to me, even though it's just 1 like. But for this video, pretty much I'm gonna talk about kind of like my idea, or I should say, my recipe to, making money, or like to start a business or to become a millionaire, whatever you want to call it, right? So pretty much in my opinion, in order to make money, the most basic thing or the most important thing would actually be to have a system in place, right? So the difference between somebody who is able to generate, and the reason why I use generate is because making money, you can say, I'll go work a 9 to 5, 8 hours a day, and that's kind of like making money, right? But obviously, there are people out there who just seems like they have unlimited amounts of money, or they can just be doing anything, and they always have money coming in, or they might know people who can give them business deals or offer them opportunities where they can just keep making tons and tons of money, even though, you yourself might see them on the internet and think that they're undeserving of that wealth, right? So pretty much the opinion that I have is that in order to generate a lot of wealth, or generate a lot of money, is to actually have systems in place, right? So what I mean by systems is these are kind of like structures or processes that you would have, so that money can keep coming in, and the money that you do have continues to make you more money. So, as an example, if you take somebody who has, or sorry, if you take somebody who doesn't have any systems in place and you just give them a ton of money, such as like lottery winners, right? Or somebody who might win like a huge sum of money from like a game show or something. Most of the time, majority of the time, I don't know the exact specifics or statistics, but 99% of the time they end up losing all of that money, right? And they would always say that winning the lottery is like the worst thing that's ever happened to them. And I believe that the reason why that's true is because they don't have any systems in place to take care of all of that wealth, right? Um, and obviously, money can make your life a lot better, or it can absolutely demolish you, depending on whether or not you have systems in place to protect yourself against the risk. But also, it's also the systems are also there to help you protect your wealth and generate more of it, right? And if you take an example like such as Donald Trump, for example, back in the early 2000s, there was an interview done with Ivanka, which is Donald Trump's daughter, and she said that one time when Donald Trump was in bankruptcy, they were actually walking on Fifth Avenue, and there was a homeless person there, right? And she said that Donald Trump actually turned to her and said that the homeless person actually has 8 billion or 8 million. I don't know the exact specifics, but pretty much what they said, or what Ivanka said, was that the homeless person actually had tons and tons more money than Donald Trump and his daughter, right? Um, so pretty much what that means is that, being that Donald Trump was in a huge amount of debt, obviously, if the homeless person was not in that amount of debt, then that person technically, has more money than, Donald Trump, right? And the thing is that Donald Trump made a lot of money, and then he lost it all. He declared bankruptcy because he was over leveraged. But he was actually able to come back from that and make all of the money back, right? And some can argue that he had connections and he had opportunities and this and that, which, I guess it may or may not be true, right? But at the end of the day, is that what I believe is that he had systems in place to kind of help him rebuild that wealth and help him dig him out of that hole, right? So, so the next question is, it's like, what are these kind of systems, right? So pretty much for these systems, they can come in a lot of ways, but number one is obviously to develop like basic financial literacy, right? So knowing, like how money works, what it is, and like the time value of money, your opportunity cost with the dollars that you do have. That's like a very basic understanding of how, money actually circulates and how your money uh, works, I guess, right? So that would be the number one thing, right? Is to actually understand like basic financial literacy. So you understand how money works. But number two is also to have a lot of skills, right? So the skills are actually the ability to make you money, right? And skills come in a lot of different forms. Number one is, just things that people would kind of pay you money for, right? Let's say you're very good at graphic design, or you're very good at building websites. It doesn't even need to be any sort of like these skills that you have to use your brain for. It can be, physical skills too. Like if you're like a very good at sports, right? Like a um, professional, sports player, right? Or it can be, like even like blue collar stuff where it's like, if you're like a very good plumber or an electrician or anything like that, right? So these are skills that people would pay you for, right? And these are skills that, never can be taken away, right? So if you become really, really good at, let's say, plumbing, then you always have the skill to make money from plumbing, right? And people always pay you for that, right? So number one is, basic understanding of money and fiat money or fiat dollars, right? Number two is having a skill that, also can um, that people see value in, that they'll pay you for. And what was number three? Um, oh, number three was for social skills, right? So going back to the Donald Trump example, some people might argue that he had a lot of opportunities because he knew a lot of people, so he can have the opportunity to kind of build that wealth up again, which, definitely, it's definitely true, but that's also a skill, right? So your social skills and your networking skills are also skills that make you a lot of money, and it's a process that you can have in place to always have opportunities coming in, right? Depending on who you know, and depending on how well you're able to socialize with people, right? And number four would be skills such as like investments, and having something to have the money that you do have actually end up working for you, right? So it can be like investments, it can be like cryptocurrency, it can be a business, right? Anything um, that is able to kind of generate you money passively is something that helps you build up wealth in the long term, right? So for example, like if you were to win, let's say $1 million, right? If you win that $1 million, that $1 million, if you just keep using it, then it probably won't. You'll run out of it sooner or later, right? And it's probably sooner than later because if you never had $1 million before, and all of a sudden you get a windfall of $1 million, you're gonna start spending money like like crazy, right? And which is what happens to lottery winners. But if you actually had a system in place where you actually knew to actually how to reinvest that money and actually have that money generate more money for you, even while you're sleeping, then you get a like monthly cash flow, right? Whether you invest that money into businesses, into stocks, cryptocurrency, whatever the case may be, it's just something that you would have to actually bring you more money as time goes on, right? So these are just a couple of skills and processes that are very important to know, so that you can make more money in the future, right? And so personally, in my opinion, I think that, you know, making money is is kind of like a skill, right? And not in a skill in a sense where, it's something that you just learn to do. It's kind of like a culmination of multiple different things that generate you wealth. And the more of these skills that you pick up, the more money that you're going to be able to make, right? Um, I don't know how realistic some of these things are, but there's like YouTube videos. I think Grant Cardone has done one of these. There's other people who've done YouTube videos where they just go into like a completely new part of the country. They have like, like $100 in their pocket or something, and they have to build their wealth back up within um, like a couple of months or something like that, right? I'm not sure how realistic that is in those specific videos and examples, but I'm sure there are multiple tons of people who have done those things over time, right? So that's why they say, like your first $100,000 is the hardest. But everything else after that is actually it gets easier, right? Because as you pick up these skills, you start understanding how money works and how to make more, and slowly over time you just get better and better at it, and more money starts coming in, right? um, and the one other very important skill, which kind of goes into the social part slash networking, is kind of like sales skills, right? So sales skills is obviously very important, and it's just kind of like your ability on how you're able to make other people understand what you're thinking and how to convey ideas from your point of view, right? And also understanding other people so you can kind of figure out what their problems are and then kind of try to solve them for the customer or the client, right? Yeah, so that's about it for this video here. I forgot to say this in the first video, but uh, if you um, if you enjoy my videos, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, and if you like it, you can leave a like. If you don't like it, you can leave a dislike. I just do this for fun. I think it's kind of cool. I'm just testing this out. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next one.